Today on CCX News, we continue with our look at the top stories of the past year. That includes a bleak outlook from Minnesota manufacturers, what they say is driving down optimism to its lowest point since the Great Recession. Manufacturers say their growth outlook is radically different than what they've seen in years.
And the concerns about lower revenue, lower profits matches what we saw back in 2008, 2009, which was that Great Recession, and matches just before COVID took place. So it's the first time that we've seen those three that I'd call relatively sobering facts come out in a survey.
Enterprise Minnesota advocates for manufacturers and discussed the outlook with CCX News at an event this past fall. A considerable concern for small and mid-sized manufacturers is Minnesota's recently approved paid leave legislation. They say cost concerns with the new program have started to cripple hiring and stunt growth.
Historically, we would have exempted the very small companies, and we didn't exempt those. And so I would call it the organizations and people that our legislature was hoping to help the most, they hurt the most.
60% of manufacturers in the state have 10 or fewer employees. The legislation, however, treats them the same as large multinational companies. The paid leave law takes effect in 2026. During the end of 2024, we also kept tabs on a growing number of store closures in Brooklyn Park near West Broadway and Brooklyn Boulevard. Emily Haugen spoke with city leaders about what's happening.
On this Brooklyn Park corner, once busy Caribou and Jimmy John's storefronts sit vacant.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing a transition. There are multiple tenants that are leaving that location.
With two big stores, Cub and Petco, to follow. It's hard for neighbors to feel like it's not a trend.
We don't like to see clusters of vacancies. Any bit we can do to try to refill those spaces in short order is definitely good for the local economy for a variety of reasons.
But Tim Gladhill, the city's community development director, says the rest of the businesses in the area are staying put right now.
We've connected with Target just to reconfirm their commitment to stay there, and we understand that's true. We hear reports that Chipotle is still committed to their space.
Gladhill's spoken to the owners of a number of vacant businesses in Brooklyn Park. He says there's already interest coming back in.
Some of the proposals that are already being talked about could start to see some good traction in the coming months already.
Though public perception points to crime, Brooklyn Park police say that isn't necessarily the case. Citywide, crime is down 10%, with violent crime down 18%. Brooklyn Park Inspector Elliot Faust says at the Jolly Lane businesses, trends are similar.
We don't see high crime numbers in those businesses.
Those properties reported 6 thefts so far this year.
They're not outliers in that the crime is significantly worse. So that's the big picture.
Emily Haugen, CCX News.
In Golden Valley, a key development in that city, Baxter International's kidney care division ended up choosing Golden Valley over Chicago for its new R&D facility. The total investment is worth about $40 million. The company is planning to redevelop a vacant building on General Mills Boulevard. Baxter says state financial incentives will help pay for the remodel and create 70 new jobs. Meanwhile, in Maple Grove, a deal to help the city with its community center vision while allowing Lifetime to build a new flagship athletic club and apartments. Reporter Kevin Miller takes a closer look.
Inside this fencing, it's begun.
It has been a very long time coming.
It's an ice rink construction project worth millions of dollars. And for the Maple Grove Community Center, it's just one of many plans for expansion.
We've been adding a third sheet of ice. We're going to redo the pools.
And now they're buying a building. Lifetime Fitness is attached to the community center. After years of work, Maple Grove is buying the building for a community center remodel and expansion. It gives the city a unique opportunity for a central campus.
So we have a great place for all of our city, community, government-related buildings right here in downtown Maple Grove.
We've got our ice sheet, our gymnasium, senior center, banquet facility. And a lot of communities have those on separate sites or have them split, so we have it all on one campus. That's kind of the beauty of adding that Lifetime space, is we can continue with that.
The Lifetime Fitness will relocate to a spot near Maple Grove Hospital. The city is spending about $10 million to buy the land and give it to Lifetime.
It's going to be one of what I'll call the new big fancy Lifetime facilities with their adjoining work housing that they have planned. So I mean, it's going to be a beautiful new facility right on 610. So that's going to be a big asset for the community as well.
In Maple Grove, Kevin Miller, CCX News.
The city expects to relocate some of the active recreation space like the gym and teen center to the Lifetime building. As for the apartments, Lifetime is proposing close to 400 units on land west of Maple Grove Hospital. The development is called Lifetime Living. The new fitness club would be built next to the apartments. Lifetime representatives say about 20% of its members are renters by choice and prefer to live close to the athletic club. One of the major success stories of 2024 was finding a tenant to fill one of Brooklyn Center's largest retail buildings. In the first half of 2024, the city celebrated the opening of Empire Foods, an Asian supermarket. It took the place of the former Walmart at Shingle Creek Crossing. The new store is a huge operation with aisles upon aisles of groceries and housewares.
Brooklyn Center is the most diverse city in the state of Minnesota, and so having a spot like this open up that's a little bit more geared culturally is significant, not just for the residents, but for the larger community in the state of Minnesota. They have a place to come to, they have a place to take advantage of, and a place that feels like home.
Among the ethnic offerings you'll find here items like wild boar and boiled duck eggs. And we thank you for continuing to support us. Here's to a joyful and prosperous 2025.
As the year 2024 comes to a close, we're taking a look back at some of the memorable high school sports stories in the Northwest Suburbs this year. We hope you enjoy it. And Happy New Year from all of us at CCX.
We start off with a feel-good story from Hopkins. The Royals football program came into the 2024 season with 3 straight years of winless seasons. But on September 13th, Hopkins finally snapped their 29-game losing streak with a 22-21 win over Eastview on a game-winning 2-point conversion in overtime. For the Royals seniors, it was just their second win they've experienced since they started tackle football in 3rd grade.
It kind of just flew at us at once. It's like we got one and just felt amazing.
Our hard work over the past 9-10 years paying off. It's just a testament to never give up. I mean, if you really love something, I think at the end of the day, the amount of work you'll put into it will eventually show.
Sticking with football, the Maple Grove Crimson came into the season with high expectations and a new head coach. Adam Spurl took over from Matt Lombardi and guided a talented Maple Grove team that rolled through the season with very few close games and outscoring opponents 536 to 144 on the year. In their final 4 playoff games, Maple Grove defeated Eden Prairie, Edina, Shakopee, and for the second time in the season, Minnetonka, to cap the program's second unbeaten season in 3 years and win the Prep Bowl again.
It's a dream come true for us. This is how we planned it. This is how we wanted it to go. We've been thinking about it all year. This is our final goal. I think anything less would have been a pretty big letdown.
The Champlin Park volleyball team played section runner-up to state champion Wayzata the past 3 seasons. But led by all-state players Carly Gilk, Catherine Adler, and Reese Axness, the 2024 Rebels had a mission to break through to the state tournament. Their story almost ended in section heartbreak again, but down 2-0 against a feisty Maple Grove team, the Rebels rallied to win the final 3 sets and get to state for the first time in 6 years.
Champlin Park's going to state!
We're so excited. You know, me and Reese have been praying for this moment ever since we were 6th graders watching the 2018 game. So it's such a special moment to be able to do this with our best friends, and we're so excited.
No, their season didn't end in a state championship. The Rebels lost the title match in 5 sets to Lakeville South, but this group of Rebels brought plenty of recognition to the Champlin Park program. After beating Perham and Crosby Ironton, the Providence Academy girls basketball team took aim at a 3rd straight Class 2A state championship. Their opponent, Albany, in a rematch of the 2023 title game. The Huskies came to play, building a 55-44 halftime lead. And they led until the final seconds when Madden Greenway's drive and layup gave Providence its first lead of the game. The Lions scored an 81-78 win for their 3rd consecutive title.
We were just kind of took it upon ourselves. We were like, no matter what happens, no matter the calls, whatever doesn't go our way, like we're not losing this game.
The Totino Grace boys basketball team shot for a 3rd straight Class 3A title after dispatching of Stewartville and De La Salle. The Eagles met Mankato East in the final. Isaiah Johnson followed this 28-point semifinal with 25 more in the championship. As Tutino Grace won 73-64 to earn the three-peat.
This was for sure the toughest run for us. You know, we had 3 really challenging opponents, and Stewartville was awesome, and obviously De La Salle, you always have a handful with them. With that Mankato East played as well as, you know, I've seen them play all year today.
A 5-game losing streak to start the regular season was long forgotten by the time the Tutino Grace baseball team reached the state class 3A tournament. Tommy Heifert tossed a shutout to beat Little Falls in the quarterfinals. A feat matched by his teammate Jake Rance in a 2-0 win over Benilde St. Margaret's in the semifinals. Weather postponements meant Heifert was ready to go in the championship game against Montemedi. Noah Hill supplied the offense, driving in a pair of runs for the Eagles. And Heifert finished off a 2-1 win with another complete game for Tutino Grace's first ever state baseball title.
Couldn't have been done better with a better group of guys. You know, these are the guys we've been riding with since freshman year.
For the CCX Sports Year in Review, I'm John Jacobson. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.